Hello everyone! We're on our part 2 of our quick bread series. So from my last video, you have learned the first mixing method in making quick breads, which is muffin method. So for this video, you're going to learn how to make the second mixing method, which is biscuit method. Okay? So again, let me focus on the form of fat, which is chilled fat. Okay? So last time, we used melted or liquid form of fat, but for this time, we're going to use a solid form of fat or butter. So, kailangan natin dito is chilled, okay? So, kailangan matigas pa, okay? So, hindi pwede yung malambot na, okay? So, for biscuit method, we're going to make raisin scones. So, again, this is a basic recipe wherein the raisins can be replaced by other ingredients. You can use chocolate chips, you can use berries. Here are the ingredients. So again, we're going to combine all the dry ingredients first and then all the wet ingredients except the butter. Okay? So let me show you how it's done. Okay, for the dry ingredients, we have in the bowl 2 cups of all-purpose flour, sifted. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup white sugar. And then we're going to add also 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay? So, make sure to mix all the dry ingredients first. So, in our class, I have explained to you and I have shown you a video on how to do this by hand. Okay? But I'm going to use the KitchenAid or the mixer. So if you're going to use this by hand, you have to add your butter at this point and using your fingers, rub the butter together. For the wet ingredients, in one bowl, combine 1/2 cup of all-purpose cream. So this is 120 ml or 1/2 cup of all-purpose cream. Okay? If you have sour cream, you can use sour cream instead. Okay? So, since sour cream is more expensive, instead of using sour cream, I'm using 1/2 cup of all-purpose cream. And then, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Okay? So, just ordinary vinegar will do. So, again, this is to replace sour cream. Okay? So, makikita natin, mag-thicken siya because of the acid in our vinegar. Okay? So, if you're going to use sour cream, use 1/2 cup of sour cream. And then, to this, we're going to add our 1 egg. Okay, so mix this first. Again, these are our liquid ingredients. Okay? Again, notice that in biscuit method, we are not going to add the butter or the fat in our wet ingredients. So, we need our butter in solid form, chilled but cut in cubes. So, mapapansin nyo, ayan, pinipress ko, ayan, chilled pa siya. Hindi siya yung malambot na mapipisil natin. Okay? So, ayan, kahit pisilin ko, hindi siya natutunaw. It's not soft, so it should be properly chilled. Okay? And we're going to also need 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of your raisins, or if you don't like raisins, you can use chocolate chips, or you can use nuts, or you can use cheese, ham and cheese if you want, savory biscuits. Okay? So, let's set aside. And then, in one bowl, let's ready our egg wash. Okay? So, mamaya pa natin gagamitin to. Pero since we have our container here, let's crack the egg. Again, this is for brushing the top of our scones later on. And then, add 1 tablespoon of water. Okay? So, this is our egg wash that we will brush the top of our scones with. Okay? Or of our biscuits. Okay, so pang-top natin para mag-brown at saka maging shiny. Okay, so when you are making use of egg, it provides color and shine. Okay, so maglalagay din tayo ng konting asukal para may konting texture at crunch yung ibabaw ng ating scones later on. Okay, I've already mixed this. Okay, so we will start by mixing it again and then adding our wet ingredients. Okay? So, add muna natin pala yung butter. I'm sorry. So, let's put our butter, chilled butter. So, again, this is 1/2 cup of cube chilled butter. So, cut into small cubes. So, number 1 lang tayo. Yung unang speed lang tayo sa KitchenAid. And then, unti-unti natin ilagay yung liquid. Sorry ha, medyo lumilipad yung ating lalagay ko muna, okay. Mabilis lang to guys. We don't want to overwork or to overmix our dough, okay. So, this is not butter anymore. This is already stiff. So, we call this mixture a dough. So, makikita natin, hindi pa siya combined together. Pero nakita natin kung gaano kabilis natin hinalo. So, sandali lang natin to hahaluin. Okay, and then we put our raisins. So, if you have chocolate chip, you can also add your chocolate chip at this point. So, nakita natin halos wala pang 1 minute. Okay, so I usually pulse it like this. Okay, and then that's it. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this into a floured surface. So I have this, yung niro-roll lang para hindi ako magliligpit, hindi ako maglilinis ng lamesa. Okay, so mag-sprinkle muna tayo ng flour generously. Okay, because we're going to roll this and knead this, mamasahin natin to for a short while. Okay, so simutin natin yung nandun sa paddle attachment natin and then using your bowl scraper or you can also use your hands if you don't have a bowl scraper. Okay, put this on a floured surface. Include the bits and pieces that are left at the bottom of your mixing bowl, okay? So, sasama natin yon. So, you can also put a little bit of flour on your hands to prevent this from sticking on your hands. And flour the surface of the dough. And then, press it and then knead it for just a few times, okay? So, combine yung mga nadudurog na parts. Okay, that's it. Okay, so again, we don't want to over-knead and to overwork our dough. We just, because we want it to be flaky. Okay? So, kasi yung init ng palad natin, matutunaw natin yung butter and we don't want that to happen because we want it to be flaky habang nagbe-bake, doon pa lang magme-melt yung butter natin. So, ganun din ang ginagawa ko sa aking rolling pin. I also dust my rolling pin with flour. Again, dust it a little bit with flour. And then, roll it until it is 1 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch thick. So, we want to retain the roundness if you are going to cut this as parang pizza, okay? So, but we can also use, ako in my case, I like using baso, okay? So, if you have a cookie cutter, you can use it. But, you can also use a glass like this. So, depending on the size that you want. And cut it. So, ito, I usually dip it in flour first. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, and then cut it. And transfer it to a cookie sheet. Or, you can also, sabi ko nga kanina, pwede kayong parang pizza. Ika-cut nyo lang siya into 8. Okay? So, make sure you clean yung sides para hindi mahirap. And then, dust it with, dapat meron ako ditong harina eh. Okay. Yan. Para hindi dumikit. So, pagka nakita nyo na medyo nakausli yung raisins, ipasok nyo. Kasi masusunog yun pag hindi nyo pinasok. Okay? So, medyo i-press nyo para sumama dun sa dough. So, once in a while, clean the rim. But if you have a cookie cutter, you can also use a cookie cutter. Kaya lang wala akong cookie cutter. Kaya, baso na lang. Okay, so, mapapansin nyo hindi na kaya na magbilog, no? So, what we do is, we combine everything again together. And press it together. Knead 1 or 2 times. And you can roll again. The same thickness, okay? Again, the thickness should be the same as the one a while ago. Around 3/4 to 1 inch thick. And for the remaining, I'm just going to form it into a ball. And try to mimic the size of the others that you have already made. Okay, so itong huli, medyo maliit na kasi kulang na siya. Okay, so depending on the size of your cutter, you will yield about 12 to 15 size of biscuits. Okay, these are small biscuits. You can make your biscuits large biscuits or pwede rin ganito kaliliit lang. Okay? We have here our egg wash. Okay? So again, this is for color and for crunch on top and to make our product shiny habang nagbe-bake. Okay? So again, yung mga nakausli na raisins, make sure we tuck it inside so we prevent it from burning. Okay? So masusunog kasi yon yung mga nakausli na yon. Magbo-burn yun mamaya habang nagbe-bake. So again, we bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for around 15 to 17 minutes. And then after brushing with egg wash, we sprinkle this with a little bit of white sugar. So again, this is for additional texture. It will provide crunch on the outside of our scones. Okay? Okay, so I adjusted the time. This is how it looks like when it's cooked. Okay, so adjust your time, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. Okay? So, medyo matagal ko na kasi hindi naluluto to. But this is one of my favorite ng tatay ko kasi. Pero madalang ako magluto nito kasi matabang siya. This is usually best paired with jam or jelly. Tapos, they usually serve this split sa gitna. Then, they put cream and jam inside. Okay? Okay, let's try it out. Yan, makikita natin, flaky siya, oh. Yan, crumbly. But still moist inside. So, you can keep this in foil or in airtight container and then reheat nyo na lang sa oven toaster pagkakainin nyo na in the morning. Okay? So, tikman natin. Very good crumb. Again, this is matabang. This is bland in taste because you're supposed to pair this with jam or jelly. And also, it's good with pwede rin butter. Pero masarap to with cream. Okay? So, sa iba, nag-whip sila ng cream and then they put flavors in the cream. Pwedeng matcha, pwedeng chocolate, pwedeng plain cream lang na sweetened ng konti. And it's very good. Okay? Crumbly, buttery. I like it kasi kahit plain lang siya. Siguro, yung mga teenager di pa masyadong ma-appreciate ito kasi matabang lang siya. Pero, this is also good kahit savory yung inyong kinakain. So, pwede rin itong gawing savory. Sabi ko nga kanina, you can add cheese, bacon, chives, ham, okay, to make it into a savory biscuit, okay? So again, I hope you enjoy our lesson for making the biscuit method for quick breads, our raisin scones. So see you in our next video. So for our next video, I'm going to show you how to do quick breads using the creaming method. We're going to make coffee cakes, okay? So see you in my next video. Thank you.